He's 23rd on the grid from Poland. Let's see what he can do in this one.
The parallel racing car driver Alessandro Sedenesi will be starting from 28, his best result being 2 top 5.
From South Africa, Sayud Vadiara is starting 29th place. He has been in the top 10 3 times so far.
And then we have Victor Bernier, another Frenchman from VDK, his best result being a 2nd position. He will be 30th on the grid.
Lorenzo Dall'Avisio qualified 27th on Friday. Since then, he has had a 7th, a 10th, 11th, an 18th, and a 12th place.
Another Frenchman, Sami Megatounef from Formula K, 32 on the grid. His best result actually this morning, a top 4 in the 5th qualifying heat.
Thomas Ten Brink then, 60 points for him at the end of the qualifying heats, just about enough to get him into the final. His best result so far in the heats, and 8th place. Here we go for the final. Let's see what he can do.
Currently in the grid, Tyler Maxson for 248, the 34. His best result being the top 8. This is it. This is a wrap and the start for the warming lap, as you can see them on the screen. And the starting group we just described with Chris appearing right now on the live stream. This is now happening here on the international track of Sarno. We have Felipe Massa, Nico Rosberg, and many other big names alongside us for this final. The first one of 2 being the junior. 17 laps to go, of course, to decide who's going to take home the victory at the end of this first round of the 2018 European Championship. This is the FIA Karting Grand Prix, a new name for a fantastic venue and what's to be a fantastic championship, Chris.
Yep, so just to give you an idea of how the point system works, as we said, 10 points down to 1 have already been given to the drivers who qualified in the top 10 on the grid. The winner now gets 25 points from this one. If you finish in the top 15, you get points. 25 to the winner, 20 to second, 16 to third, 13 to fourth, 11th to 5th, and then we work our way down to 15th place. Nerves definitely around the Sarno circuit then as we get ready to go. There is the 208. The Estonian Paul Aron, who starts on pole position. Dino Beganovic is going to start alongside him. Conrad Lawson is to the inside of row 2. Then it's Kai Aski, Kittle Small, Gabriel Bortoletto, Nikita Bedrin, Zach O'Sullivan, Jack Crawford, and Gabriele Mini. The pole position side of the grid will be to your right-hand side on the screens. The outside of the grid will be to the left. Right, here we go for the first final of the 2018 season. We are off for racing here at Sarno. Leading them in towards turn number 1 is Paul Aron. Going straight into 2nd place is his Ricky Flynn Motorsport teammate Kai Aski. A fantastic start from the British driver from 4th place. Dino Beganovic under a lot of pressure there in 3rd place. That's Gabriele Mini at the head of your picture there in the white crash helmet. So there are the 2 Ricky Flynn Motorsport drivers, Aron and Aski. Beganovic is in 3rd place. 4th place is one of the CRG drivers. It's Gabriel Bortoletto. 5th place is Zach O'Sullivan as they power their way through turn number 8 for the first time. Behind O'Sullivan in 6th place is Gabriele Mini. It looks as if we've got the top 6 escaping here on the first lap of 17. Out front though, no such problems for Paul Aron, Guillaume, but is he being challenged here from Kai Aski, I wonder? We were talking earlier about what the tactics could be in this race. Now we have 2 teammates out front. I wonder if we're going to see him start working together out of the last corner. We're about to complete lap 1. Let's call the top 10 as they come across the line then. It is Aron, Aski, Beganovic, Bortoletto, O'Sullivan, Mini, Soplipera, Lawson, Crawford and Small.
And a few things happening off screen in the first lap. Quite a clean lap, except for the corner number 3. Maybe not an attempt. Yes, a change of position, I think, for 4th place indeed, with Zach O'Sullivan that got past Gabriel Bortoletto. That just happened very quickly in the third corner when we had actually a hit in the first lap.
And that's Bortoletto, is it, going back past Zach O'Sullivan?
Yeah, I think so. And then we're going to identify actually, but I think there were 1 and 2 drivers involved in the first lap. A crash in the corner number 3. And actually another driver actually went wide, very wide in the last corner, completing the first lap. I think we have the names in here. Victor Bernier, actually, the 210, and Koum, the 242. That's too bad actually for Marcel Koum and Victor Bernier that got involved in a hit in the first lap and now out of the race.
Yeah, Victor Bernier qualified 6th overall on Friday. It's been a disaster for him since then, just about making the final, but unfortunately he'll be watching from the sidelines. The top 3 are away and clear here. Head down for Paul Aron as he leads the way down towards turn number 3 for the 3rd time. Aski there in 2nd place. 3rd place is Beganovic. 4th place and under a lot of pressure is Gabriel Bortoleto. Look how many drivers he's got behind him. Immediately behind is Conrad Lawson as they go in towards turn number 7. And there's been a change. Conrad Lawson up the inside takes 4th place. Oh no, and Gabriel Bortoleto off the track. He's going to drop all the way back down behind Jack Crawford, and Zach O'Sullivan now going past as well. So down to 10th place for the Brazilian then as they head down towards turn number 10. It is Conrad Lawson now into 4th place. 5th place is Sobrepera, then it is 6th place for Mini, Small is 7th, Crawford 8th, O'Sullivan 9th, Bortoleto 10th, and Mini going up the inside there of Sobrepera. So Gabriele Mini now into the top 5.
Yeah, super move from the Italian driver Gabriele Mini that got past Martin Sobrepera just after the last corner. And one big fact to mention, the unluckiness actually of the Italian driver that we just saw off track, Gabriele Bortoleto, who got passed by many drivers and dropped back in 10th position. This is a 4-position loss from the starting grid position for Gabriele Bortoleto, the Brazilian driver. Not so lucky on this point as we get back in the first position of the field. The Paul Aron leading the way, just 2/10 of a second, a bit more now in front of Kajaski. Kajaski trying to catch up, of course, of the leader, and Beganovic still in 3rd position, the Swedish, as we see some move just behind the top 3 ahead of the rest of the pack with a gap already of 1.7 seconds. On 4th position, we have Conrad Lawson in 4th.
Yeah, that's Zach O'Sullivan having gone up a place and then dropping back one. So just trying to identify who it is. It was Adam Putera, I think that's gained 2 places and is into the top 10. It is. So the Malaysian is up to 9th place then as they go across the line. 10th place is now Zach O'Sullivan, and 11th place is Gabriel Bortoleto. Gabriele Mini, by the way, has just set a new fastest lap in 5th place. So Gabriele Mini going along very well. Some of your biggest movers. Weng has gained. Oh, and there goes a move. Well spotted, Guillaume. A move for 2nd place. Well, Kajaski has been patiently waiting behind his teammate and goes side by side with Beganovic for the 2nd time. So Kajaski now back into 2nd place. This getting a bit dangerous though. They're allowing Guillaume to they're allowing Paul Aron to get away out front. Guillaume isn't on track, but I'm sure he'd like to be. Maybe would be a bit overweight if he was out there with these guys. But Kajaski it is back into 2nd place. Dino Beganovic back into 3rd. Really though, Guillaume, they need to work together to get after Paul Aron, who is escaping.
Yeah, beautiful move indeed from the Swedish driver that just got past from Kajaski. As you said very rightly, actually, those 2 drivers need actually to work together. We see Kajaski looking over his shoulder to see where Beganovic is, and he goes for the move. Could he actually make it through in the exit? Yes, he does. The Swedish driver, Dino Beganovic, is back in 2nd position, and they both need to work together to try to catch as soon as possible Paul Aron. Actually, you couldn't ask for more than that, just to increase his gap 1.1 second, a bit more maybe, as long as the 2 others are fighting. As we see a fantastic battle as well right now between Sobrepera Marti and Gabriele Mini. I think this is a battle for 5th.
I think that's Kittle Small, isn't it? And Sobrepera, yeah, Sobrepera. So Kittle Small trying to go into 6th place there as we make our way down towards turn number 13 for the 4th time then of 17. Here on your screens is the 205 Dino Beganovic leading Kajaski for 2nd place. That changed down at turn 3. Conrad Lawson closing in though. He has a look over his shoulder. He's got Gabriele Mini with him. Paul Aron is escaping out front, and down towards turn number 3 they go. Aski, I think, has now decided it's time to try and work with Dino Beganovic. He's tried to take the fight to him. Beganovic is being very stubborn that he wants to be in 2nd place. So I think Kajaski's holding his hands up here and saying, right, let's just work together then. Of course, he'll want a podium as well. Podium, you carry, if he finishes where he is, that's going to give him 16 more points to the 7 points that he already has. Of course, he's got Conrad Lawson closing in, his teammate as well. So Kajaski trying to play good tactics here, I think, and just following Dino Beganovic round for the time being. But Weng, by the way, continues to make good progress. Is up 10 places now, the Spaniard, into 12th place. So we'll keep an eye on that and see if the 255 can move into the top 10.
And the leader, Paul Aaron, completing one new lap, 1.1 second ahead of Dino Beganovic, still in good battle with Kayaski. He's going to go for it, Kayaski, maybe in the third corner as we have them on screen. No, he stays behind. As you said, they work together very, very close indeed between those two drivers, as they have only one thing in mind, catching up actually the gap with Paul Aaron, trying actually to battle until the end for the victory. Paul Aaron was actually flying away, or at least he's trying, from Beganovic and Kayaski in the same pace right now. But as you said, they only have one thing in mind, catching up as much as they can and winning some ground back on Paul Aaron and try to catch a victory. This is just counting, of course, for the points and the championship, but I'm sure they have other things to think about on track, as this goes very, very fast for them. And still in fourth position, we have Conrad Lawson with just behind in 3/10 of a second, Gabriele Mini, the Italian. We have now them on screen. 26 right now as well. Taylor Barnard that just got past Gabriele Bortoleto. Was it the case? Yes, indeed. You just saw that briefly.
Yes, it was. Taylor Barnard's up to 9th. So the graphic you can see on screen is not right. We have a yellow flag. Someone's off at the last corner. Not too sure who that is. By the way, the graphic. So we're on lap number 9 of 17. The gap from first to second is actually 1.2 seconds, having risen by a 10th. Now, the driver to go out on that last lap was Zach O'Sullivan. So Zach O'Sullivan has tumbled down the order. Not only Zach, but Alfio Spina has gone missing as well. So they joined Sammy Megatunif, De Figueiredo, Cooch and Bernier as drivers we've unfortunately lost. So to give you an updated top 10 and a correct top 10, it is Aaron leading Beganovic, Askey, Lawson, Mini, Small, Sobrepera, Crawford, Barnard and Bortoleto as they make their way down through turn number 1. Jack Crawford there just looking over his shoulder as he goes through turn 1. He's got a big gap though back to Taylor Barnard, Guillaume. This once again, Kayaski still following Dino Beganovic. And
a one in flag to mention for the driver number 203. I think if we find him in the ranking, the 203 being, I can find him yet actually in the ranking of this race. At least, yeah, this is Zach O'Sullivan that had a warning flag, but that's it. That's over right now because Zach O'Sullivan is no longer part of this race. Yeah. So we're gonna get back into the front. You have them now on screen as the good information is back on screen. Well, apologies for that little delay. Paul Aaron still leading away, 1.3 seconds ahead.
Oh no, we've got an incident.
Beganovic, and we have an incident indeed over there with a driver on track.
Two drivers.
Happening off screen. Two drivers. Well seen, Chris.
Yeah, one of the Tony Kart drivers, I think it might be one of them that has gone missing. The other one, not too sure. We'll be able to bring that up to date when they come across the line. So I think, Guillaume, if you keep your eyes on the timing screen, you can probably identify who that is. In the meantime, we're going to go back to this battle for second place. Beganovic and Askey still line astern at the moment, trying to chase them down. Still is Conrad Lawson. Gabriele Mini still 5th place. Have we figured out who it is that's gone off?
Yeah, I think this is pretty bad news for Colombian fans. And this is Sebastian Montoya, the Tony Kart representant, the 218 that just actually got back in the that dropped back till the end of the ranking. Sebastian Montoya, this is out of the race, I'm afraid.
And Adam Putera has gone with him. So that was the two drivers unfortunately gone. That's a shame for Putera because he's had a good weekend up until this point, and Sebastian Montoya has shown real flashes of brilliance. So I think that's not the last we're going to see of those two throughout this season. The first round may have ended pretty badly, but we've still got 3 rounds to go at PF International, Amfink, and also the SA circuit in France as well. But Kayaski's got a good run down to turn 3. And is he going to make the move? No, he isn't. He might be running out of time here, though, because Conrad Lawson couldn't be much closer now as they go through turn number 4 for the 12th time. Kayaski's surely got to make his move now. Conrad Lawson is right there with him. Gabriele Mini will want a podium there in 5th place as well. And just watching this battle off about half a second behind is Kittle Small and Marty Sobrepera. Then it is Crawford and Barnard and Luca Bosco. Wang is up 11 places to 11th. Evan Malay, by the way, has gained 10 places to 16th. Vadiara is up 11 to 18th. D'Aloisio up 12 to 19th.
Yeah, I'm afraid, as you said, Kajaski might have waited way too long before getting past Dino Beganovic in second position, as it seems from here on box of speaker that Dino Beganovic is a bit slower than Kajaski. The gap between the leader, still Paul Aron, is 1.9 seconds, and Kajaski has understood, and now he makes the move just before corner 3. Fantastic move from Kajaski, and not so much of a resistance from Dino Beganovic, who's going to try to fight back indeed for the second position. Kajaski has understood finally that he needs in the 5 laps remaining or so, and here comes Kajaski. Dino Beganovic, who tries to fight back and gets the move, and Konrad Larsen and Gabriele Mini that get past as well. What a disaster for Kajaski, who just lost 3 positions in a row.
Yep, he's just gone from being second place to completely off the podium as Konrad Larsen now goes down the inside of Dino Beganovic, and Gabriele Mini trying to pass the pair of them. Gabriele Mini now into second place. Kajaski's back into third place. Going into fourth place is Kirill Small. Where has he come from? Sobrepera is fifth place. So where is Konrad Larsen then? I think he's down in sixth place. He is. Dino Beganovic is down in seventh place. Well, Beganovic gets back to sixth place at the last corner. Down towards turn number 3 we go for the 14th time. It's Mini versus Aski for second place now. Kirill Small in the middle of the picture there in the 220 in the blue race suit, trying to hold off Marti Sobrepera. Well, what a lap that was. It just seemed as if Beganovic was trying to cover off the move from Larsen as he was making it, and the pair of them were, I think, just too focused on each other, ran straight on from the corner, and that allowed Mini and Aski to pick up the pieces.
Yes, indeed. What a fantastic hand of weekend for Gabriele Mini, the Italian driver, who is now contender for the second position, 3 seconds behind Paul Aron in the lead. That might be, of course, a bit much of a gap and too few laps just to try to catch the leader, the Estonian driver. But what a disaster for Dino Beganovic, who actually hold back Kajaski, a very long Kajaski, who attempted the move. Beganovic was back in second position, and then they both lost everything just after that happened. Gabriele Mini took advantage of it. Kajaski still third in contention in front of Kirill Small and Marti Sobrepera.
Well, here we go then. We're getting into the dying stages of the race. We are right at the business end now. There is Gabriele Mini in the white crash helmet coming through. This is Kirill Small versus Marti Sobrepera. And I think Sobrepera, for now, is just going to see if he can go after Kajaski and snatch himself a podium. Of course, they will all want to get on the podium and score as many points as they can, but eventually Sobrepera will run out of patience and will then have to go for the move on Kirill Small. Just behind this and trying to recover are the likes of Konrad Larsen and Dino Beganovic, Guillaume, but that's what we love about karting. It's how quickly it can change. If you're watching for the first time, first of all, welcome to the FIA European Championships. We are getting to the closing stages of our OK Junior Final, and this, you've probably noticed if you haven't watched karting before, you're thinking, I've never seen a race with so much overtaking in one lap game. That's how quickly things can change.
Yeah, that's how quickly things can change, as you said, and how quickly we can miss actually a position to see on screen. It goes so fast, and we saw a good attempt there in the corner number 3 from Kyle Larsen, I think it was, on Martin Sobrepera. We're going to head toward the end of the race in less than 2 laps now. It goes so fast indeed. The fantastic racing. This is final. All the drivers, worth mentioning, are on fresher tires. The second set of tires as they've put on after the qualifying heat and the qualifying session as they're supposed to have. Maybe some others chose the other option to put the fresher tires for the final heat. This is, of course, a strategy discussion that we're having right now, Chris. Now, let's focus on the final laps of this OK Junior Final. You have right now the leader on screen, the 208, Paul Aron, the Estonian driver, 4-time winner that enters right now his last lap with 3.3 second gap ahead of Gabriele Mini, who is in contention for the second place with 0.7 of a second advantage of Kajaski. It looks to me that we shall remain with the same top 3, less than a lap to go, and maybe a beautiful victory to come for Paul Aron. But, you know, a mistake could always happen, but that's unlikely coming from the Estonian driver.
It is very unlikely. Just to give you an idea of how good this driver has performed this weekend, Paul Aron, over 80 of the world's best are here. He qualified on pole position on Friday. Then he won every single heat he took part in. They had 5 heats to take part in, 4 yesterday, 1 this morning. Paul Aron won all of those, one of them which Felipe Massa co-commentated on. So he'd even pressed Felipe Massa, Paul Aron. Now he's made this final look easy. He's going to leave here a comfortable championship leader. Out the last corner, Paul Aron wins at Sarno for round 1. Second place goes to Gabriele Mini, and third place completing the podium to Kai Aski. But what a drive from the Estonian, the Ricky Flynn motorsport driver, Paul Aron. Well, you couldn't have a better performance. You couldn't ask for any more. He's driven superbly this weekend, and Paul Aron is going to be very, very hard to beat this season. He has just established himself as the championship favourite. Well, let's go through then the rest of the first half of the order. Kirill Small finishes in 4th place. Marty Sobrepera, 5th place. There is confirmation of the top 12 on screen for you. Conrad Lawson finishes in 6th place. Dino Beganovic finishes in 7th place. Jack Crawford, the American, in 8th place. Taylor Barnard in 9th place. He gained 8 places in that, while Marty Soprapera in 5th, gaining 7 places. Gabriele Mini, for his podium, gained 8 places. 10th place was Luca Bosco. 11th place was Vlad Lomko. Lawrence Van Hopen was 12th place. Finishing in 13th place was Marius Weng. Then it was Evan Malay in 14th place. 15th place was Gabriel Bortoletto.